Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.
Today, why don't we start the practice really doing some simple breath work and then going into a little bit more yoga breath. So instead of lying down today, we'll start in sitting. So if you need cushions, blankets, blocks to sit on, and different practices, and it's the same for you, you can change your sitting practice. So we'll begin. So I thought it would be good to just sit in simple cross legs to start with. And I know sometimes people's hips are sort of elevated. So there's a couple of ways you can sit down. If you sat on the floor and you had pillows, you can always put the pillows under your knees. If you feel like you need to sit higher, you can use a folded blanket. So, like this is a skinny blanket, I would fold it more so that it gave me a little bit of elevation, something like that. Or if you wanted the block, you could sit on the block, have that elevation. But then again, you can also put something soft and cushion on your knees if you need that. That's an option to start in this way. When we change sitting, I'll show you more options of sitting. So I'm just gonna sit on the mat, but I think I'm gonna put my cushions here just because there's something nice about that. And I'm just gonna bring my hands first on the thigh. So however you're sitting, I've got my right leg in front, but you can have your left leg in front. And give yourself a little bit of, length through the feet and ankles so that you're pressing the feet. You're not just totally dropping and sickling the feet. You want that relationship to the ankle. You can just soften your hands onto your thighs. And then we'll just, move our torso a little bit. You can move the shoulders, just a little bit of movement in here to see what's your tendency. Is your head starting to drop? Do you put some tension in your shoulders to hold it forward? Does your head tend to go one side to the other? And perhaps press the hands on the thighs, and we'll just drop one ear to one shoulder. A couple of breaths there. Bring the head up and drop the other ear. Because sometimes there's the tendency to sort of have a wacky position with the head and like lift the chin up or drop the chin. And yeah, there's poses where we do lift the chin, back bends. We do drop the chin with some compression poses. But right now, we just want to find that balance in the head. And then see if you can feel that your front body softens back into the support of the back body. And that your spine, back rib cage, sacrum, all supports the front of the body. And then we're just going to do a little bit of raising the arms just to feel how the breath moves. So if we bring the hands down in front of us and slowly move as we inhale to find that length. And of course, if you're having some shoulder tension on the first one, just move it up to where you're feeling like a little bit of tension. And then on the exhale, you can bring it down. We'll keep moving so that we can raise them higher. On the next inhale, raise them up. See if you can feel how this opens up your lungs. Exhale. and see if you can get that full range of the arms all the way up. And then slowly bring them back down. And then we're going to do our arms to the side way and feel that width of the side ribs. So can you slowly on your inhale raise it to the side. And again, you might have some shoulder issues and you only want to come to here on the first one or even lower. And raise them, bring them down. And raise them up again. Raise them down. And we're just sort of floating the arms up. Floating them all the way up. See if you can feel how that just opens up the lung capacity. And then bring it down. And then just take a pause and notice how you are. And you've got your hands just weighted onto those thighs. And then the third one is feeling more of the front and the back of the body. So bring the arms to the front. You can lean forward on the inhale, and then you can bring the arms behind you, and then exhale. So that forward and backward moving. So you come forward, inhale, and bring the arms behind you, inhale. Exhale. It's a little bit awkward. Actually, let's start with the arms behind for the last one. Inhale as you move back. And bring the arms forward as you move forward. And then exhale and come back to the center. And just notice whatever you notice. And then since we're already sitting here, take your right hand to your left knee and just come into a simple twist. But as you bring the hand here, start in the abdominals. Start the twist with the abdominals moving back towards the sacrum. Then the rib cage moves. Then the shoulders. Then the head. Again, noticing that chin, keeping that chin level. And if you want to go looking over the back shoulder, you can. And coming back into the center. And place the opposite hand to the opposite knee. Hand behind. And again, starting at the base, where your abdominals move into the sacrum. Then the rib cage moves. Then the shoulder. Then last, you can bring the chin over the shoulder if that works in your head and neck. So don't do that if it doesn't. And then slowly come back to sitting. And then we'll do a couple of alternate nostril breathing. And I'm going to change my sitting position. You can change the cross leg if you want to stay in the cross-legged position. If you want to come and sit in thunderbolt pose, you can take your blanket, you can take your blocks. I like to take my blocks and sit on them long ways so I can press my ankle bones into the blocks and my shins are long, and then it really supports me. So if you want to do this pose, you can, or you can just go into the other easy cross legs. And in alternate nostril breathing, we have two hand mudras. So the first one is the right hand comes up to the nose, where there's a couple of ways to do it. Some teachers teach the pointer finger on the third eye, or some teach with the first two fingers on the left side and the thumb on the right side. So whatever feels right for you. If you bring the pointer to the third eye, then you have all other three fingers on the left side and on the right side. And if you feel that, little bone in there, it's when you close off, you actually slide the fingers down to close it off. So you find your way on top of that bone and then you slide it down and you close it off. So that's how the right hand works. The left hand, you can just bring your thumb and first finger together and then place the palm down on the thigh with the palm upright. So that is how I learned to do the pose, but of course, if you need to do something else with this hand, you're free to just put it down on the thigh. We'll just do a couple of rounds of this, and essentially the rhythm is inhaling for 4, pausing for, I think it was 6, 8, and then exhaling for 8. Or it might have been pausing for 16. But anyway, we'll keep it simple and we'll try that. And of course, you can always alter it. And you don't do the withholding, the retaining of the breath if you're pregnant. You just keep the cycles going. So we'll first start with a couple of regular inhales and exhales, just to get the body into its breath rhythm. And then you'll take another exhale, and then you'll close off the right nostril with the thumb and inhale on the left on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the nostril off, so now you're in retention. Just retain the breath. Then you open the right side of the thumb and you exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on the right on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it off. Retain the breath. And you can focus on your third eye. You can have the finger on your third eye, middle of your forehead, and then exhale on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on the left on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it off. Retain the breath. Exhale on the right on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on the right on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it off. Retain the breath. Exhale on the left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on the left on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it off. Retain the breath. Exhale on the right on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on the right on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it off. Retain the breath. Exhale on the left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on the left on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it off. Retain the breath. Exhale on the right on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on the right on 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it off. Retain the breath. Exhale on the left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And release the hands. And just notice what you notice with breath. And whether you're in cross leg or in Thunderbolt pose for Virasana, we'll do a little twist here. So take that right hand to the left knee or thigh, and then slowly twist around, where you start with the belly into the sacrum, the rib cage, then the chest, sternum, and then you can bring the chin towards the shoulder if your neck is okay. Coming back around to the center. Take the opposite hand to the opposite knee. I'm on my block, so I can put my other hand on the back of the block. Bring the abdomen to the sacrum. Bring the rib cage around. Upper chest, sternum, and then you can bring the chin towards the shoulder if you're okay in the neck. And then slowly come back around. And then just for the fun of it, interlace your fingers. Inhale them in front and bring them up. And just notice if you feel like you've got all this space and you can really bring in the breath, really find those lungs. And then release the arms and change the crossover so you've got the left finger on top. Press forward the hands and then inhale up. Release the arms. So we'll go into slightly more active practice now. And I'll just remind you to notice the breath as we're going into poses and just see if doing a little bit of breath awareness, a bit of pranayama practice makes a difference or changes something for you or not. And then it's one of the limbs of yoga. Asana or postures is one limb of yoga, and there's 7 limbs, and pranayama is one of them. So come into all fours, and we'll just do a little bit of cat and dog tilt in the pelvis, just rounding the spine. Just getting a little bit of movement into the spine. Bring that right knee in and just swing it back. See if you can really support this movement with the breath. So as you exhale, everything rounds in. As you inhale, everything swings out. Trying to connect the breath into the movement of the body. And then bring that leg down and bring the opposite knee. Make sure that you're pressing those hands so you can really support through the shoulder blades. As you swing with the breath. And then bring that leg down and walk the hands a little bit forward so that you can tuck the toes under, and press into downward dog. And just notice your breath moving in downward dog. Can you feel perhaps more space between the rib cage? Perhaps you feel more length between the head and tail. Maybe there's a little more calmness or ease. I don't know. Maybe not. Just some ideas that might be happening. And then bring the knees down and go into big toes together, knees wide. Come up again. Walk the hands a little bit more forward and tuck the toes and come into a spacious downward dog. And then slowly walk the feet and the hands towards each other. Slowly roll up the spine. We'll stand in Tadasana with some space, so the feet under the hips. Just feel into your feet, into your Tadasana, maybe into the width of your body. And what happens if you inhale? Raise the arms over your head. Does that feel more easeful or maybe not? I don't know. And then bring the hands down and come up through the side. You can bring them up and then flip the hands when you reach up to the shoulders and then come up. Flip the hands and release down. We'll just go through that cycle another time just to feel what it feels like. Inhale the hands up. Exhale the arms down. Inhale out to the side. Rotate the hands. Come up. Flip the hands to bring them down. A couple of breaths into Tadasana. Then we'll go into tree. I'll do the mirror image. So standing on your left foot, slowly bring the right foot up. And of course, if you can't bring it into the thigh, you can bring it to the calf muscle or the ankle. And bring the hands to the prayer position. Feeling stable, you can bring them overhead. Just notice how you are. Into Tadasana. And ground on your what's more important is to find where it works for you and your hips and legs, where you can find that stability. And the hands can come into prayer. If you're feeling stable, they can come overhead. Lift the hands down, bring the arms down first, and then the foot down. So if you're up to jumping into legs wide, you can do that as we go into some more standing pose. But before we do that, we'll do another inhale, the arms up, Urdhva. Exhale them down. And then we'll inhale them up through the side. And then exhale down. If you feel like jumping with me, bring the hands in front, bending wide, or you can step the legs wide, and I'll do mirror image. So I'm taking the left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. And this is called extended triangle. So you want to have a good distance between your feet. And then you're just going to reach that top arm. Maybe to the thigh or the shin. And the top arm comes up. And then it is a little bit of a abdominal twist here as you connect your abdominals into the sacrum. Slowly twist, looking up to the upper arm if you can. Again, it's all related to your head and neck too. A couple of breaths here. And inhale, slowly come up. Bring both feet into parallel. Then soften the knees as you take the right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. And then really reach with that arm, finding the thigh or the shin. Top arm up. And if you're feeling all right in the head and the neck, you can really engage those abdominals back to the sacrum. And slowly twist to look up to the hand. Couple of breaths. Inhale the arms up. Feet back to parallel. Then you can inch them closer, or you can jump back into Tadasana. And from there, you can inhale the arms overhead. Exhale down. Inhale them up through the side, bringing the palms up. And exhale down. And then bring the hands in front. Jumping wide if you're okay with that. And then take the left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. And then we're going to bend into Warrior Two. Then we're going to place the forearm onto the thigh for Parsvottanasana. And if you can bring the arm up and over, that would be great. We'll really lengthen into that whole side body. See if we can really feel the breath reaching through that whole area. From the left toes, foot, all the way to the left fingertip. And inhale, floating up. Feet parallel. And take that right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. And we're going to bend deeply into Warrior Two pose. Bend the arm, the thigh, and then the left arm up and over, no, right arm up and over, sorry, on mirror image. And then you can look under the armpit if you're all right, in the head and the neck. And then inhale, coming up with the feet wide, and then jumping or stepping back into Tadasana. A couple of breaths here. And then you can inhale the arms overhead. Exhale down. Inhale up through the side. Palms up, shoulder height. Exhale, twist the palms down. And a couple of breaths there. Bring the hands in front. Jumping wide. And again, mirror image, so left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. So we're going to start in Tadasana, then in triangle. Then you start to bend the leg, and if you can, bring the hand to the floor, bring the back leg up into Ardha Chandrasana. And then you can slowly bring that back leg back and come into a really long triangle to finish it off. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel. And then right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. So you start off in a little bit of a triangle pose. Then you start to bend the front leg. Reach the hand to the floor. Slowly bring the leg up. And then slowly move that leg even further away so you come into a really wide, long triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. And then slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel. Jumping back into Tadasana or stepping. And then again, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale down. Inhale out. Hands up. Exhale. And then just stand in Tadasana for a few breaths just to take that in. I found for myself going into Ardha Chandrasana, there was a lot of ease in that. I didn't feel like I was going to fall over. And, you know, sometimes it is easeful for me, but sometimes it's not. So maybe working with the breath has helped you in that. And then come on down to the mat and lie on your back. We'll do a couple of twists on the floor that also will give you lots of space in your breath. And we'll start with the hands out wide and bending the knees to the chest. And then I'm coming towards you, but you can go the other direction if you want. So you can bring your knees towards the right hand. And you may not be able to go all the way down, but you can also bring something to support you. Or you can start to bring the feet down and then slowly try to bring the knees closer to the hand. So that's another way to approach it. But you want to keep the shoulders as best as you can on the floor. And then slowly bring the legs up to the ceiling and start to bring them to the other side. Like I said, you can start with trying to get the feet down and then bring the knees up closer to the hand. If that works for you. You can use a block or cushion or blanket underneath. If you need more, you want to keep the opposite shoulder down. Some schools of thought bring the head to look over the opposite shoulder. I'm just doing that because it's easier for me to see the screen. But you can also leave that head in neutral. So that's something for you to find what you need in your practice. And bring those legs together. And feel free to put the legs in a chair. You can do feet up the wall. You can do Shavasana and put something under your knees if you'd like. So you can do regular Shavasana or anything else that has a restorative element to it. So that's why feet, legs on the chair, feet up the wall are really nice to do at the end of a practice. And then of course, I want you to really notice your breath. And can you feel it moving beyond just the lungs? Can you feel it, how it moves into your armpits to support your arms? How it moves into your thigh sockets to support your legs? And then see if you can imagine those RSA cells. You may have no idea what they look like, what their shape is, what their size is. I think they're quite small. See if you can just use your imaginations to imagine these tiny little cells in the sacs, in your lungs. That are there for you, that are there to function of bringing in oxygen, releasing the carbon dioxide or whatever we don't need in our body. Bringing in the necessary nutrients when we inhale. When we exhale, we're letting go of whatever we don't no longer need in the lungs, in the body, in the tissue. And then also imagine if perhaps there's a part of your body that's a little bit, that's nudging you, that's sort of irritating you, that's giving you a hard time, or has a little pain or sensation or tension. See if as you breathe, you can imagine that RSA cell going to that part of your body, bringing in the nutrients, bringing in the oxygen, whatever's needed, and then letting go of what's not serving you at this time. Bringing in the nutrients to that part of the body, the oxygen. Letting go with the exhale of what no longer serves you in that part of the body. just become aware of your nostrils and feel the breath moving in both nostrils. Just one nostril. Just notice that. It's very soft, very quiet. Just slowly begin to deepen your breath, bringing a little bit of movement into the hands, the feet. Maybe you need a big body stretch to roll to your side. And you can slowly come up to sitting. Again, just paying attention to where your breath is moving. How do you notice something different from when we started, or not at all, or maybe you feel more ease? Just take note of that and carry it into your future practices. Maybe you need to give yourself a nice big hug. Thank you for coming. And namaste. Have a beautiful evening or day, whatever you're embracing at the moment. for watching and joining us. Namaste.